All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's webinar. Tonight the focus is on characterizing young learners. We all are here. I'm sure you are full of enthusiasm tonight. You are full of energy. We are primary teachers. We teach children. I know there are some kinder teachers here. So we are special people. It feels sometimes like being a teacher is so difficult, sometimes so tiring, and we are hardworking people. But being a teacher of children, it feels like it's sometimes double work, because we need to be always patient, we need to be always full of enthusiasm, we need to be energetic, we need to be optimistic. Tonight, I'm here and I want to welcome you all on behalf of Abilities and Education and SBS Educación. Welcome to our Prepare for TKT YL program. As I said before, tonight the focus is on characterizing young learners. Let's start then right away. What will we talk about tonight? Well, there are three things we will cover. Basically, first we will be talking about young learners and principles of teaching English to young learners. We will also talk about the characteristics of young learners. This includes the development statements, how they behave at different stages of their lives. And finally, you all are part of a program, our Prepare for TKT YL program. So I want to speak to you about the exam, about TKT YL, the exam format and preparation. All right, where are you connecting from tonight? I want you to tell me in the chat box. I want you to interact with me and tell me where you are connecting from. Please, where are you connecting from tonight? Tell me in the chat box. Chiclayo, all right. Good evening, Chiclayo. Yes, 6. Hello. Hello, everyone. Lambayeque, good. Paita, Piura, good. Pueblo Libre, Lima. All right. Good. Good evening, Lima. Good evening, Piura. Chiclayo, Chiclayo. Chiclayo is winning. Ica, Chincha, Ica, good. Good to know. My grandparents are both from Pisco. Bagua Grande, great. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, now I want you all to turn on your cameras, please, so that we can interact together. You know, we are teachers of children. I want this workshop to be full of enthusiasm and I want you all to participate. All right? So please turn on your cameras. We are going to start right now. We are going to start with music. All right? Are you ready to sing? Are you ready to move? All right? We are going to sing together. Here's my guitar. All right? I want to start with a song. Okay, I want to hear you all. You can open your microphones now. You can turn on your microphones and sing with me and follow me. All right? All right. So you all know this song. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap
your hands.
Happy and you know, and your face will surely show it. If you're happy
You're
and
happy. You can.
if you're happy and you know it's so sweet. If you're happy and you know
And you know,
if you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you If you're happy and you know it, shake your head. Come on, shaking heads. If you're happy and you know it, shake your head. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, shake your head. If you're happy and you know it, your arms. Wave your arms. If you're happy and you know it, wave your arms. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, wave your arms. If you're happy and you know it, stand up, come on. If you're happy and you know it, stand up. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, stand up. If you're happy and you know it, sit down. If you're happy and you know it, sit down. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, sit down. Very good. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray! Hooray!
Hooray!
And you know it, shout hooray! Hooray!
Hooray!
And you know, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know, shout hooray! Hooray! All right, now we are going to do all things together. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, shake your head, wave your arms, stand up, sit down, and shout hooray. The 7 things. You know 7 is a perfect number, right? If you're happy and you know it, do all 7. Feet. Stand up, sit down, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all 7. Stand up. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, do all 7.
Hooray!
Very good, very good. Thank you so much for following me. Claps for everyone, and welcome to tonight's webinar. There's a lot to talk tonight, and I am sure we all are going to share our teaching experiences, and this will be a way to enrich what we do, to enrich our work, to enrich what we do in our everyday teaching. All right, look at this. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right, are you ready to continue? Teachers?
Yes, teacher.
All right, good. All right, good. You all can see the pictures, right? We are going to use the words in the box to label the pictures. There are 5 pictures right there, but a lot of words. What's the word for the first picture? What can you see in the first picture? What is it?
She's a writer.
Writer. Good.
Writer.
Good. Point for the girls. 1 point for the girls. We see a writer. All right, writer.
Firefighter.
Firefighter.
He's a
Firefighter.
And girls again.
An actor. He's an actor.
An actor. An actor. All right, good. Next. This is not an occupation. This is not a job.
A town.
Town, yes. Town. All right, and what's the last one?
Waiter.
Waiter.
In British, you say waiter, right?
Waiter.
Waiter. Good, right. All right, good. Next. What can you see here? It's the teachers, right?
Teachers.
Nurses.
Nurse, nurse,
Nurses, sir.
lawyers,
Lawyers and
lawyers,
Barber.
barber. Yes, barber. All right, good. Great, you are doing all right.
Barber.
Good, sir. Here.
Pilot.
Astronaut.
astronaut,
This is
postman,
doctors.
doctors,
Doctors.
doctors,
Great. Doctors.
Yes. This is
policeman,
chef,
chef,
Mechanic.
lawyer,
judge,
Judges, right?
judge,
This is
Lifeguard.
Lifeguard. Yes, lifeguard.
lifeguard,
Lifeguard. Yes, good. Lifeguard. Very good. Okay, so this is the people in the town, right? The different people. Look, I see a firefighter fighting fire.
fighting fires,
I see a what's a
car
mechanic
changing tires,
changing tires. I see a
Pilot.
flying through the air.
I see a chef.
I see a barber.
barber, that
No.
people
All right.
here,
I see the people in my
town, in my town, and I see
Para todos reparte pedacito porque
all right, good.
what's going down.
I see a
postman.
Postman,
Postman.
I see a lifeguard.
At the swimming pool.
Work,
Town, and I say, hey brother, what's going down? Doctors, nurses, astronauts, judges, lawyers, courts. I see the people in my town, and I say, hey brother, going down.
What's going down?
what's going down.
I see an
Actor.
Acting
on the stage.
acting on the
I see a
I see a writer.
writing on
a page.
I see a
chef,
Working in
the restaurant,
I can see
a
waiter.
what you want.
I see the people in my town. I say, hey brother, what's going down?
doctors,
Nurses,
astronaut,
judges, lawyers in the court. I see the people.
in my town.
Ah, good. And I say, hey brother, what's going down? Now I want to hear you all singing, all right? We are singing together. I want to hear you all.
Dile a Javi que estoy en clase, que no me envíe fotos.
Javi. Javi. Javi.
Yo ya le he dicho ya.
Let's see. Okay, good. Let's start. Let's start with the song. Okay. I see a firefighter fighting fires. I see a car mechanic changing tires. I see a pilot flying through the air. I see a barber cutting people's hair. I see the people in my town, and I say, hey brother, what's going down? I see the postman with the mail. I see the police again. I see a lifeguard at the swimming pool. I see the teachers in the local schools. I see the people in my town, and I say, hey brother, what's going down? Doctors, nurses, astronauts, judges, lawyers in the course. I see the people in my town. I see a writer writing on a page. I see a chef working in a restaurant, and a waiter asking what you want. I see the people in my town, and I say, hey brother, what's going down? Doctors, nurses, astronauts, judges, lawyers in the courts. I see the people in my town, and I say, hey brother, what's going down? Say, hey brother, what's going down? Right, good, so good. Now I want you all to turn on your cameras and stand up so that you can learn the song. I saw that Roxana Kumpa said she doesn't know the song. That's okay, Roxana. I'm going to teach you the song right now. All right, can you all see me? Can you all see me? I want you all to turn on your cameras.
Yes, teacher.
All right, so that we learn this song. Okay, everybody, cameras on. Cameras on. And do what I do. Repeat what I do. Repeat what I say. All right? Everyone, I see a firefighter.
I see a firefighter.
Fighting fires.
Fighting fire.
Fighting fires.
I see
A car mechanic.
Changing tires. Changing
Tiring.
Tires.
changing tires.
Changing tires.
I see a
I
pilot
see a pilot.
I see a pilot.
I see a pilot.
flying through the air.
Flying
Through
here.
the air.
I see a barber.
Flying through the air.
I see a barber. I see a barber.
Yeah, barber.
Cutting hair.
I see a barber cutting people's hair.
I see the people
I see
the people
in my
On my
town.
town.
in my town.
And
On my town. I say,
hey brother,
Hey, brother.
brother.
what's going down?
That's going down.
One's going
I see
down.
a postman
I see a
I can see a
postman.
I
postman
see a
with a
postman
mail.
carrying a mail.
Mail.
I see a police
I see a police
police
putting folk in jail.
in the jail.
I see a lifeguard
I see a lifeguard
at the swimming pool.
at the swimming pool.
I see
at the swimming pool.
I see
the teachers
the teachers
I see the teacher
in the local schools.
in the local school.
in local school.
I see the people
I see the people
in
People
my town.
In my
In
town.
my town.
And I say,
And I
Say,
say,
Hi,
brother,
brother.
hey,
hey
brother.
brother, what's going there?
What are
What's going
doctors,
down?
doctors,
Doctors,
doctors?
Doctors.
nurses,
nurses,
astronauts,
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 Astronauts?
astronauts,
judges,
judges,
lawyers,
lawyers,
Lawyers.
in the courts.
in the court.
I see the people
I see the people
in
I
town.
say the people.
in my town.
And I
In my
say,
town.
Say,
Say,
hey brother,
hey brother,
hey, brother.
Hey, brother.
what's going down?
I see
Going
a
down.
doctor. I see
I
an
see
actor acting
a
on
doctor
I see an actor
acting on the stage.
acting on the
I
stage.
see a writer
I see a
writer
writer
writing on a page. Writing on
writing
a
on the
page.
page.
writing on the page.
I see a chef
Chef. I see a chef
restaurant. Working in a restaurant.
working in the restaurant.
And a waiter
And a waiter
And a waiter
asking what you want.
asking what you want.
I see the people
I see the
I
people
see the people
in my town.
In my town.
In my
in my
town.
town.
Say,
hey brother,
hey brother,
Hey, brother.
What's going on?
what's going down?
In town.
doctors,
Doctors,
Nurses,
astronauts,
Astronauts,
judges,
judges,
lawyers,
lawyers,
in the courts. I see
in
the
the court.
people
I see the people
in my town.
in my town.
I say,
I say,
hey brother,
what's going
hey
down?
brother,
what's
what's
going
going
down?
down?
Excellent, you're ready. We're going to sing it now together, all right? I'm going to play it now. I want to hear you all right? I see a firefighter fighting fires. I see a car mechanic tires. I see a pilot flying through the air. I see a barber cutting the hair. I see the people in my town. I say, hey brother, what's going down? A postman with a mail. I see a police putting folk in jail. I see a doctor at the swimming pool. I see the teachers in the local schools. I see the people in my town. I say, hey brother, what's going down? Doctors, nurses,
Astronauts,
judges, lawyers, the courts. I see an actor acting on the stage. I see a writer writing on a page. I see a chef working in a restaurant. And a waiter asking what you want. I see the people in my town and I say, hey brother, what's going down? Doctors, nurses,
astronauts, judges,
lawyers,
in the courts.
I see the people
Only my town.
Hey brother, what's going on?
I say, hey brother, what's
Going down.
Excellent.
All right, you did a great job. All right.
Right.
So good. Woo. You made me sweat. I feel a bit tired. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I used to be like lighter in the past. All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here, for being with me tonight, for accompanying me tonight. As I said at the beginning, we are teachers of children. So we are special people. We are like magicians. We are actors, actresses. We are clowns. We are doctors. We are psychologists. We are many things in the classroom. Being a teacher is already a very difficult job. We need to be responsible. We need to work very hard. And being a teacher of children, it feels sometimes like it's double work. But we are here because we love what we do, right? We love working with children. I've worked with children for more than 20 years. I started at a very young age. When I was 14 or 15, I was part of a Catholic group and I was a catechist, and I started to work with children. This is when I started to notice that I really like teaching, and I had like a special vocation for working with children. Thank you for being here, because your presence here is also for me a way to encourage me, to motivate me to continue doing these things. We are going to start right away with the focus of tonight's presentation, which is on characterizing young learners. Most of you are here because you are part of our Prepare for TKT YL program, right? So tonight is our first webinar, and I want you all to be enthusiastic, to participate. I want you all to contribute with your experience, and I want you all to feel like we are a family. All right? The first part of tonight's webinar is on development statements. And I want to share with you a framework which was developed in England. So according to the Early Years Foundation Stage Framework, and bearing in mind that children develop at their own rates and in their own ways, children typically develop the following things within these age ranges. When they are between 16 and 26 months, they copy familiar expressions, right? It is true that a child doesn't speak until he or she is 1 or 2 years old, and girls are faster to speak, right? Do you have children here? I want you to interact with me. I want you to have your microphones open, to turn on your microphones, or type in the chat box so that we can interact together. Who has children here? Who can tell me who has children? I want you to tell me in the chat box. Do you have children? I have one child. Well, he's going to be 12 in a month, so he's not that little now. Have you noticed that girls are faster than boys? When they are very little, girls start to speak first, right? Between the age of 26 and 26 months, generally talking, children can copy familiar expressions. So they are listening to everything around them, and they are internalizing the language. Also at this age, we can highlight that children explore and experiment using the 5 senses and the whole body. Have you noticed that a very young boy or girl is always like licking his or her fingers with the hand inside their mouths? Have you noticed this? Do you know why this happens? Children like being with their hands inside their mouth, because this is the way they explore the external world. Anything they see, they want to take it to their mouth, because they explore and experiment by using the senses and the whole body. Between the age of 30 to 50 months, they respond to simple instructions. Have you noticed this? Johan has 3 kids, right? He has a boy and two twin girls, right? Ruth has 3 children also. Abdul, you have 4. All right, congratulations, Fanny, 4 children. Have you noticed that at this age, children respond to simple instructions? Like, put your toys away, bring this, give me this, pass me that. Also, they can catch a large ball. They also notice what adults do, imitating what is observed and then doing it spontaneously when the adult is not there. Also, they are able to play in a group. This is when they start to socialize with other children. And they hold books the correct way up and turn pages. All right? Not upside down, but the correct way up and turn pages. Between the age of 40 to 60 months, this is more or less when they are 4 or 5 years old, they are able to use a pencil and hold it effectively. They extend their vocabulary by grouping, by naming, and exploring the sounds of new words. They start to develop other parts of their brain. This is when they can start, for example, to classify things by their color, by their size. They can also write their own name and do other things such as labels or captions. And they can construct with a purpose in mind, using a variety of resources. So the mind of a little boy, of a little girl, is a word, is a huge word. And it is good that we, teachers of children, are familiar with these things, since this is going to help us include effective ways of teaching, of interacting with them when having groups of very young learners or primary groups in a primary school. All right. In this section, right now, we are going to outline the characteristics of children development, and on a more specific note, those of children as foreign language learners, because we are here tonight because we want to know about the characteristics of young children, but we also want to know how to teach another language, how to teach English to a little boy or girl. Right now, the focus will be on the characteristics of children development, as well as children as foreign language learners. So when children start learning a new language, all of the learning process occurs through the sense of hearing. How did we start tonight's webinar? What have we done so far? What did we do at the beginning of tonight's webinar?
Singing.
Yes, we've done singing, right? We've done singing, we've sung together, right? So when children start learning a new language, all of the learning process occurs through the sense of hearing. So music, so stories, so speaking is very important when teaching young children, all right? What processes should come first? Listening and speaking, all right? Reading and writing will come after. Listening comes first, And then comes experiencing with the body. What would be more effective for making little children learn a new language? Teaching them to copy words or speaking words to them? Which would be better? Can you please tell me, according to what we have said?
Speaking words.
Right? But sadly, many teachers do the opposite. When we have groups of children, I have seen teachers teaching English in primary schools, very worried, very focused on teaching writing vocabulary, writing, reading vocabulary, but they never do any listening or any speaking in their classes. And this is why many people from my generation have serious problems with the language, because they say, they argue that they can read or write at a certain level, but they cannot speak. Why? Because teachers never focus on listening, on experiencing, on speaking. How did we learn our native language? How did we learn Spanish? Abdul, what is your native language? Abdul, are you hearing me? Abdul, are you there? Is Abdul there? How did we learn our native language? How did we learn Spanish? With a board?
First by listening, sir. Then by repeating.
Excellent. Thank you, Robert. By listening to our mom, by listening to our dad, by listening to our aunts and uncles, by listening to everybody, right? We were surrounded by the language. And we learned Spanish because we were just listening to Spanish all the time. Nobody taught us to write first. What do we do first? Do we speak or we write first? What do we do first?
Speak.
Speak, right? Speak. And what do we do? Yes. What do we naturally do first? Listen or read?
Listen.
Listen.
Right, excellent. So this is the very first tip of tonight's webinar. If you want your teaching to be effective, don't focus on reading and writing. Reading and writing have to take the second position, the second place. Focus on doing listening and speaking only. Actually, the children don't really care about copying, reading, or writing words. They will care about experiencing, listening, discovering, doing. Is this clear? Great.
Yes.
All right. This type of learning involves the development of specific abilities, such as discrimination and imitation of sounds, words, and tones. Only after children learn to discriminate and imitate sounds in a foreign language can they learn to recognize the formal system to register written communication. So they will be ready for writing, for reading, after they have been able to discriminate sounds, to imitate sounds in a foreign language. All right, now we are going to talk about the characteristics of very young learners between the ages of 4 and 5 years old. At this stage, children change their mood easily. This means they can be very happy in a minute and so bored the next minute. They change their mood easily. They can be enthusiastic 1 minute and bored the next, right? They enjoy repetition, they love repetition, and they feel confident and at ease with routines. Routines means we need to repeat actions. If you teach English to children, what is going to happen if every day you start with the same greeting? With the same greeting, with the same song? What is going to happen after 5, 6, or 7 days? What is going to happen?
They are gonna be
You're going to learn.
Excellent. They are going to be familiarized. They are going to be like naturally moving in that environment. They are going to greet to you every morning naturally. All right? Roxana, in the case of little children, it won't be tedious. It will be fun because they enjoy repetition. They feel sure, they feel secure, they feel confident and at ease with routines. Maybe in the case of adults, all right, it'll be tedious, it'll be boring, all right? But in the case of children, this will give them enough confidence to learn the language. They learn by imitation. They are very energetic and they enjoy physical activities. They are in a period of rapid language growth. This means that they love learning new words, they love talking, and the same as you, they love singing. The general aims of formal education at this age or at this stage are or should be socialization and habit formation. So our main goal at this age shouldn't be that children speak a lot of English. No. If you are teaching children this age, don't worry about the children using a lot of English, learning a lot of words. They will do that naturally, little by little, if you speak in English only in the classroom. If you present the language in a creative and in a fun way. But your main goal at this age should be to make the children be able to socialize and to develop habit formation. This is what will make the children good citizens in the future. If we put the focus on this, we are going to change our society. All right, so our job is not to teach a language only. It's beyond that. It's bigger than that. It's so challenging, right? Because we don't work with machines, we work with humans. At this stage of learning, when children are between the ages of 4 and 5 years old, it is important to consider the following areas. Number one, the social affective area. This has to do with attitude. In this sense, educators or teachers must pay attention to two different levels. Number one, to be oneself. This is what gives a person, what gives a little boy or girl self-confidence. This has to do with feelings and with willingness, with a desire, with feeling like you want to do things. And also we must pay attention to the fact of being with others, to be with others. This has to do with cooperation and interaction. You know, little children are naturally naughty and playful and noisy, aren't they? Am I right or wrong?
Right.
They are naturally noisy, naughty, playful. They are unpredictable many times, and they are also very sincere, right? When they don't like something, tell you, Miss, you did this the other day. Miss, you said this the other day. You promised this the other day. Miss, I don't like this game. Miss, what time are we going to finish? They are also so sincere. So we need to pay attention to these things and be able to manage these things professionally. I always tell teachers of children this. Listen to me. If you don't have the patience the enthusiasm, and the energy to work with children, just look for another job. If you want children to be quiet for 2 hours, for 45 minutes, the length of your class, and you want them to be sitting down listening to you, you are wrong. If you want to work with children, you have to be patient. You have to be enthusiastic. You have to smile and smile and smile and breathe and count up to 10 and continue smiling. All right? If not, look for another job. Look for a job in Claro or Movistar. All right? At this stage of learning, I said we need to consider different areas. The first one was the social affective area. There are 2 more. The second one is the cognitive area. This has to do with knowledge. And within this area, we consider different cognitive procedures. Information, this is related to how to process details or facts about something or someone. And comprehension, the ability to understand, for example, instructions or messages. All right? So it's only this. Don't worry about more. If you are teaching kinder or primary, you shouldn't be giving a lot of exams to the children. Assessment, evaluation should be informal and should be done every single day in class, not necessarily with a piece of paper, with an exam, with a formal test. Regarding the cognitive area, your main goal should be to make the children to be able to process details or facts, but not to recall, and to be able to comprehend, to understand messages. Many teachers worry too much about the children understanding a long text, every single word in a story. No, you should be focused on making the children be able to understand the message, the general message. If you speak in English only to your children, little by little they will start to acquire the language. If you speak in English only to your children and they respond to you in Spanish, this means that they are understanding the language. This means that you are doing a good job, all right? So it is important that you do a good job. How do you do a good job? By making sure you work on comprehension. And also application. This is the use of an idea for a purpose. The last area is the psychomotor area. This has to do with movement. And within this area, we consider these 2 aspects: habits and skills. Habits and skills, these 2 aspects, habits and skills. So your class should be full of movement, standing up, sitting down, moving, running, going, coming back. Your classes should be full of the things of movement, because it is important to consider the psychomotor area. All right? Touch the blue paper, touch the blue toy, touch the red wall, touch the yellow table. If you start to do these things, you are going to work on comprehension, and you are going to consider also the psychomotor area. Ruth, yes, it is sad. What you say is true. It is sad because many schools reinforce the importance of tests and evaluation instead of understanding, yes, how we can apply the knowledge. It is true, Ruth. However, we are here to change this, all right? So if we make a community of people and we believe in what we do, we can start to transform this, to transform it in a positive way. All right? Good. Now we are going to focus on the characteristics of very young learners between the ages of 8 and 11 years old. At this stage, children talk about their own actions. This is, they are able to talk about what they do. They use their imagination. Also, they use a variety of intonation patterns. They understand situations quicker than language use. Sorry, there is a mistake here in the typing of the word than. It's T-H-A-N. And they memorize, but as I said before, not easily recall. At this age, children play and work in the company of others. Actually, they enjoy the company of others. They understand rules. They have a short attention and concentration span. This means that we have to change activities almost every 5 or almost every 10 minutes. We have to include a lot of variety in our teaching because they get bored easily. You cannot tell a child of this age a story of 15 or 20 minutes because nobody is going to pay attention. They are keen on learning. This means they enjoy learning. They like to learn. They want to learn. And they are able to choose what to learn. As I said before, they are so sincere and they will tell you what they want to do, what they like, or what they don't. Also at this age, they can find it hard to separate fact from fiction. At this stage, children rely on language as well as on the physical world. They work with others and learn from others. They understand more abstract concepts and symbols, and they make generalizations about language. For example, they can assume that a letter S in a word makes a singular noun a plural one. They understand relationships of cause and effect, and they identify language patterns as well as know the difference between fact and fiction. So at this age, you cannot tell a boy or girl that Santa Claus is coming to school because they know that Santa Claus doesn't exist already. All right? Okay, good. Now I want you to read these statements and tell me if they are true or false about teaching young learners. This is quite a summary or a revision or what we have shared so far. 3-year-olds learn primarily through exploring and using all the senses. Is this true or false? Is this true or false, teachers? I want to hear you.
True.
I want you to type in the chat box.
True.
Yes, it is true.
Yes, it is true. So while playing, they are better able to ignore distractions and focus on the task at hand. They will even persist in completing something that is a bit difficult and can think more creatively and methodically when solving problems. Develop their logical reasoning skills as they play. Is this true or false?
True.
Yeah, it could be true.
True. It's true.
Playing means thinking. Playing means developing logical reasoning skills. So if your class is full of games, you are doing a good job. They can, for example, put together simple puzzles and understand that a whole object can be separated into parts. I said before, they are even able to classify objects by only one characteristic at a time at this age. 3-year-olds identify and describe objects that are the same or different, and they can count up to 5 and begin to recognize written numerals 0 through 9. All right? Okay, good. Emotionally, 3-year-olds need familiar adults nearby for security as they explore and play. What do you say? Is this true or false? What's that? Is that true or false?
True, sir, true.
It is true, yes. As they develop more independence, children this age begin to have real friendships with other children. And when conflicts arise with peers, they will typically seek adult assistance. At this age, they are learning to recognize the causes of feelings and will give simple help such as a hug to those who are upset, right? They can better manage their emotions, but may still fall apart under stress. Putting language into a context is important because it creates a natural environment. You already saw the answer. What is it? True or false? True, true. So it is important to establish a context, to create a context.
Again, true.
Yes. For example, if you are teaching vocabulary about food, talk to them about the food they like. Pizza, hamburgers, or maybe ají de gallina, or maybe French fries, or maybe fried chicken. Because putting language into a context is important. Learners need to find opportunities to connect language with their lives. And contextualizing provides learners with these opportunities to talk about familiar topics and communicate spontaneously. Children enjoy things that are relevant to their lives. Here is next. A communicative focus makes language more difficult.
False.
False. Yes, sir. It's false. Because a communicative classroom, a classroom in which the teacher is speaking in English and promoting communication between students, can make language feel more real. It also encourages learners to communicate naturally. It is also positive because learners become active in their learning. You know, language learning shouldn't be a passive activity, a passive things. It is not recommendable to make changes during a lesson, since this can affect our lesson plan. What do you think? What do you say? True or false?
False.
False, false.
False.
False, 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 false. We can change the plan because during a lesson, we should be focused on teaching the learners, not the lesson plan. The students are more important than the lesson plan, and we must be prepared, if necessary, to change our plan while we are teaching. If we have a clear plan, we will be more aware of what we are changing and why, right? Next.
False.
It's important to explain grammar to children so that they understand the language and learn it accurately.
False.
False.
Totally false.
False.
False, teacher.
Grammar is too abstract for children. Grammar is too complicated, too complex for children. They don't really understand grammar. They don't understand explanations. So a grammar focus can be a waste of time in your teaching because children don't pay attention to how language is used. They care about what language means, not how it works. So children don't care about grammar. They care about meaning. All right. Games play a very important role when teaching young learners.
Yes, of course.
True. True.
True, yes, everybody likes games, right? Especially children. Games are a way to present, a fantastic way to present, as well as revise and consolidate vocabulary, pronunciation, and language structures that young learners need for real communication. And remember, if they play, they learn. If children play, children learn. All right. Now there are major differences between teaching young learners and teaching adults. It's different, it's the same?
Well, I think it's different, sir. Because
Yes, so the answer is?
True. True.
Yes, sure. So motivation is different, autonomy is different, expectation is different, attention is different, the attention span. These are some of the major differences between young learners and adults English teaching and learning. So it is vital that we, the teachers of children, are aware of these differences to deliver successful teaching. All right? Okay, good. Now we are going to move on to the next part of tonight's presentation, which is TKT-YL. Most of you are here because you are part of this program. You are preparing for this exam, this international exam. So TKT-YL is teaching knowledge test. It is one module of TKT, and it's focused on testing how much you know about methodologies for teaching young learners. All right, read these sentences and tell me if they are true or false about TKT-YL. Number 1, the exam is 2 hours. False, good, thank you. Thank you, Delcy. It's false. The exam is 1 hour and 20 minutes. 80 minutes, 1 hour, 20 minutes. There are 50 questions in the exam. False. Thank you, Marilyn. False. Thank you, Cecilia. Hernan. Good. There are 80 questions. Yes, 80 questions, 80 minutes. You need to answer 65% of the questions correctly to pass the exam. False. False. Actually, there is no pass or fail. Everybody gets a certificate. You only get feedback on how much you know about the methodologies for teaching young learners. All right, next, there is a speaking interview in the exam. False, false. It is only a written exam. There is no speaking, there is no listening. It's only questions and multiple choice tasks that you need to answer. Teachers need to possess an international certificate of language proficiency to take TKT-YL. Yes, you are given situations. Maria del Milagro Yoctun, right, yes, correct, thank you. Teachers need to possess an international certificate of language proficiency to take the exam. Yes or no? No, it's false, it's false. As long as you have an intermediate level of English, let's say B1 or above, you will be ready, you will be able to understand the test and you will be able to take it. TKT-YL is ideal for teachers who need to prove their teaching knowledge with a globally recognized certificate. There are many teachers that don't have a university degree, but maybe TKT-YL is ideal for them since they can prove with a globally recognized certificate that they are familiar with methodologies for teaching children. Yes, this is true, true. All right, and what is tested in the exam? Well, first of all, TKT-YL tests candidates or teachers' knowledge of young learners and principles of teaching English to young learners. This is what you will see in part 1. Then you will be tested on your knowledge of planning and preparing lessons for young learners. Also teaching, this has to do with the strategies and methodologies, teaching young learners, and assessing. This has to do with evaluation and assessment, assessing young learners. Okay, I want you to keep in mind that the test doesn't focus on your teaching ability through teaching practice. It's only a written exam. Okay, it doesn't test context-specific knowledge either, or language proficiency. Nobody's going to see if your English is good or bad, all right? Who is the exam for? This exam is for new and experienced teachers looking for professional growth, for teachers and classroom assistants who are teaching or want to teach English to young learners, for teachers of other subjects, of older learners or adults who also teach young learners, and for teachers who teach primary, also secondary, or adult learners, not necessarily teachers who work with children. And TKT-YL is also suitable, recommendable for teachers who want to prove their teaching knowledge, as well as need a globally recognized certificate. Okay, what will you see in part 1? Children's characteristics as language learners, what we saw tonight. Developing children's language learning strategies through language learning. Developing children's cognitive strategies through language learning. And communication strategies through language learning. In the platform, you see that there are a lot of resources for learning about these things, and tonight we are also mentioning the things that are part of the exam. In part 2, you will see everything that has to do with lesson plans, components, and headings of lesson plans, providing support and challenge when selecting and using course books and supplementary materials, and selecting, adapting, and supplementing additional resources. Part 3 focuses on scaffolding children's understanding of language and use of language through teacher language and through teaching strategies, and also using practice activities to consolidate children's language learning, as well as managing, administrating the children in class, young learners in class. All of these things are in the platform you are completing right now. All the ones who are part of the program are familiar with this, right? Part 4 focuses on assessing young learners. This is the purposes of different classroom-based assessment, focuses of different types of classroom-based assessment, acting on classroom-based assessment. Okay, why do you think teachers might want to take TKT-YL? Here are some strong reasons for taking the exam. Number 1, professional development. And I want to say congratulations to you who are part of this program. You are growing up as professionals. This is part of your growth as professionals, part of your professional development. You are also consolidating your knowledge. Another reason for taking the exam is we are going to be given support in planning and preparing lessons, and we are going to become more familiar with the strategies for the young learners classroom. This is going to help us in prepare our lessons, planning them, using course books, using supplementary materials, selecting, adapting, and supplementing additional resources. All right, this is going to help us also with assessment. Why and what to assess, what to do with the evidence. As for the administration of the test, you get I said everyone gets a certificate. The exam is available on demand. All of you, the ones who are preparing with me for TKTYL, will be ready for taking the exam by March of this year. So I will let you know of the nearest date so that you can take the exam this year. As I said before, there are no entry requirements, and there are exam centers that are approved for exam administration. Everybody gets a certificate and you get feedback depending on your performance. Results are given as one of 4 bands. Yes, Johan, I know you are in. Good. This is how the exam is graded, how the exam is marked. You are going to get a band or a score between 1 and 4, depending on how much you show, you demonstrate, you know about methodologies for teaching young learners. Number 1 means that you have limited knowledge. Number 2 is basic knowledge. 3 is breadth and depth knowledge of young learners' content areas. And 4 means that you possess an extensive knowledge. You have extensive knowledge of young learners' content areas. The exam is like 200 soles, more or less, here in Chiclayo. It depends on the centers. Different centers in different parts of the world offer different prices. But here in Chiclayo, Ruth, the exam is 200 soles. All right. There is no pass or fail, so everyone gets a certificate. What are the benefits of exam preparation? Number 1, you get familiarized with the exam. You have exam practice. You are given feedback. You are part of a community. You have a trainer and you work with other teachers. Also, a preparation course gives participants an indication of their strengths and weaknesses. And this is good. All right? For the ones who haven't formally registered for the program, you can still register, you still have a chance. You can contact me if you want to be part of this preparation course. The course will finish on the 28th of February and you can still register. All right? Okay, good. We are going to finish then. We are going to say goodbye by singing, all right? So I want you all to turn on your cameras again. Turn on your cameras, turn on your microphones. We are going to sing our song, our initial song again, the jobs and occupation song again, all right? Okay, I want you all to turn on your cameras for the song and for the photo. All right. Okay. Stand up then, stand up everyone. We're going to sing again. We're going to say goodbye. I want everyone to turn on your cameras. I want you all to turn on your cameras. All right. Can you see me and hear me?
Yes, of course, sir.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Stand up. Stand up. Move.
I am bad for singing.
All right, sir. Let's start then. 1, 2, go. I see a firefighter fighting fires. I see a car mechanic changing tires. I see a pilot flying through the air. I see a farmer cutting hair. I see the people in my town and I say, hey brother, what's going down? The postman. I see the postman with the mail. I see the folk in jail. I see
I
a
see the blue.
at the swimming pool. I see the
Teacher.
broken schools. I see the
I see them.
down and I say, hey brother, what's going down? Doctors, nurses, astronauts, judges, lawyers in the court. I see an actor acting on the stage. I see a writer writing on a page. I see a chef working in a restaurant and a waiter asking what you want. I see the people in my town and I say, hey brother, what's going down? Doctors, nurses, astronauts, judges, lawyers in the course. I see the people in my town.
Hey brother,
I say, hey brother, what's going down? Claps, so good. All right, good, good, good. All right, now I want you to keep your cameras on so that we can take a photo together. Thanks for accompanying me tonight. Thanks for being here. It's been a pleasure to have you all here. To all those who are part of